Hey guys, it's Frank the Tank, and welcome to another Bowling by Jason Belmonte ball review. So, I put out a community post last week. If you didn't see it, well then allow me to get you up to speed on what that community post said. I skipped out on doing a review last week because of this release. Last week's release was the Electrify Go, or Go, whatever you want to call it. And I believe I did this also with the Electrify BSY because these are what I would consider to be entry-level bowling balls, nothing special. So that's why I decided to do that. And also, it gave me the luxury of time to be able to put up another video of the two-handed bowling tips series that I've been doing. So it gave me the chance to kind of catch up on that a little bit. So yeah, I went with that plan again, where I would skip out on that one and then wait for the next release and just combine them together. And this is our new release, the Duo. And I'm a little surprised by this release because it's not something I expected to see anytime soon. I mean, I knew it would get added, but I just didn't think it would be now. I mean, this ball, I think it recently got discontinued as well. So but it's here now, so this should be interesting. And in real life, I took a look at what this ball. I never actually drilled one. I never tried it in real life, but watching other people throw it, I felt like it was something like an uproar, but just toned down a little bit on its back end. So this should be interesting. So obviously they're never gonna. I mean, I had hopes. I had hopes that they would add the uproar into this game because, I mean, they added some really old balls in this game, like the zero gravity, and, I had hope, but they never did it, and I don't think that they ever will. And the Duo is the closest thing to that from what I see, so at least in real life. I mean, in the game, it would be far different, but anyway. I went ahead and I added the Electrify BSY and the hybrid to make comparisons with the Electrify Go. So yeah, we're doing 2-in-1 here. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna look at the, let's see, the max power. The power's been maxed out as usual, but without it, that's 7 out of 10 on its power. I think that's 6.5, and then on its hook, and then on the length, I believe that is 7.5 out of 10. So, yeah, interesting compared to something like this. I think it's just about the same, but we're going to find out. And it's got the circuit core like usual, and it's got reactor pearl reactive. They clearly lacked the creativity when it came to naming the cover stock. But anyway, the Duo. It's got, I believe that's 7 out of 10, and then 4, 5, 6, 6.5 out of 10, and the length is the same thing. So it doesn't look like anything special when it comes to the stats, but we're going to find out what this Microtrax Pro Reactive and Mentor Core do. So let's get to this. So seeing as these bowling balls look like they don't have a lot of back end and they have a lot of length, we're just going to skip the lengthy oil patterns and the heavy ones, and we're just going to go to the shorter, lighter patterns. So let's make a guess. See what I mean? I knew it. It was lengthy. Okay, so it is a little sooner than I expected it to be. I thought it was insanely lengthy, but that's only because I was probably too far left. So we'll move 2 to the left, shoot from there, and there you go. So not too bad. Now let's take the BSY, try from there as well. And that's interesting. That's a little lengthier. Let's get the hybrid in there. That's earlier, definitely a little more back end. Let's get back to the BSY. There's that length, it really pushes far down, the BSY. And then the Go looks a little earlier than the BSY. So I'd say this is your in-between ball. This one will fit right in between the BSY and the hybrid. That's what I see. Now let's get this Duo going. So we'll set this thing up for 45, 600 revs, and 10. There you go. Let's see what we get. All right, we'll take a guess and we'll go to 25. So it's lengthy, but definitely looks like it has a little more back end compared to the Electrifies. Yeah, definitely. It definitely looked a little earlier. I'm saying that looks just like this Electrify hybrid, except obviously a little more back end. Because if you go to 25, or maybe not. I guess I was wrong. I mean, looks the same. What a waste. Look at that. I mean, it didn't get back around the corner like the Duo did, so I guess maybe slightly... This one has just a little bit more power, I would say. So that's not bad, but not my kind of ball. I mean, I'm not into stuff that's really that lengthy. I mean, this ball isn't insanely lengthy, but it's, I don't know, in the middle. But it's pretty good. I like it. So that's what that ball looks like on Stonehenge. It's obvious that we're not going to get anywhere with these really lengthy pattern, like especially Eiffel Tower. You know how this one never lets the ball really move down when it gets down there. So it's definitely not going to do that. I guess I'll torture myself again and go to red square. And we'll pick up the go first. And as I suspected, that happened, of course. Okay, not bad. I like that. Especially because I don't know, like, I don't like this pattern, but, like, I don't like using the kind of bowling balls that I like to use in this game on this pattern because it requires me to go to the left, and I don't even know where to aim or what to do because this pattern is straight up flat. This ball, I think it could totally be usable on this pattern, but because I stink, I just can't with this stuff. Hey, that's a nice reaction. I'm not going to lie. The problem is, I couldn't repeat it if my life depended on it. All right, let's get to the boardwalk. Shortest pattern in the game. Let's get this Electrify go. Standing right there. That's where we need to be. I think. Could have been lucky. Maybe not. That's definitely the spot. But you have to be careful. Okay, the interesting thing is, though, look what happens if you kind of aim, like if you get this ball to touch friction. You will lose it completely. So you got to keep this ball in the oil when it gets like to the corner right there, to that right corner at the end of the pattern. And it'll make it to the pocket. But if you touch friction, this ball will go high. And if you get it very early into the friction, it'll cross over. So that's kind of a tough one for me. See what I mean? All right, let's get this Electrify hybrid in the mix. There's that difference right there. You see what I mean? Slightly a little more back end. And I want to say it picks up a little sooner than that Electrify Go. And then there's a BSY thrown into the mix as well. See what I mean? You can't touch friction with this ball. You got to keep it in the oil till it makes it to the, till it gets to the end. Can't touch friction here. See, let the length take care of it. But if you're the kind of person that just can't help it and aims for the friction to get that ball to turn, then you're going to have to move a little bit to the left. But if you can keep it in the oil like that till it gets there without hitting the friction too early, you should be just fine. Now let's get this Duo. I know what's going to happen, so we're going to move to 25, I guess? That was a little too much to the left. You could see that light hit. So we'll try 23. Hopefully it's not too much. And that's not bad. That's pretty good. So that's your difference right there. A couple of boards. Oh, I touched the friction a little too early. See, it's the same thing with this ball too. Wow, I 9-pinned again. Wow. Maybe I gotta go to 24. 3 9-pins in a row. That's crazy. That's the hit I'm looking for. So basically, we're standing on 23 on the boardwalk with the duo, and it's nothing crazy. Just the right amount of length. It's not too lengthy, but it's not too early. In the middle when it comes to that length, and the reaction is the pretty standard stuff. Nice rounded back end. Rolls pretty heavy. Or at least that's because I increased the power to get it to really hit into those pins. All right, now we're really going to go for it and do the easy street. And let's see. We'll start with the Electrify Go. Hey, wow. I was thinking that this ball was going to take like a hard dip to the left, but it didn't. It's got length. Still kind of crazy that I had to be on board 30 with a ball like this. Well, let's try 31 after what I saw, what was left there. Didn't get that 7 out like I wanted to. So we'll go back to 30. And I 9-pin. This is going to be tricky. Or maybe not. So I guess it's 31. I mean 30, sorry. Yeah, it's 30. I'm convinced that it's 30. Let's get this hybrid in here. I'm going to take a guess and say I'm going to go to 33 because obviously this ball reacts sooner and has a little more back end because of that cover. As I suspected. Let's get this Electrify Go in there. I'm going to say 30 because this ball is probably the weakest of the 3. As I suspected. Okay. Let's get this duo in here. And I'm going to take a guess and say 35 because it's a little stronger than the Electrify Hybrid. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I make my guesses pretty good. Got lucky there. Yeah, the standard stuff. Pretty in the middle kind of ball. Look at that. That ball should have like immediately hooked out of the building, but it didn't. It held on for me. It held on. That is so nice. I think we just found a ball to cheat with on this pattern. Yeah, I think we found it. I mean, you saw that. I aimed for the friction a little early, and it still held on. It still got out there. And obviously, I kept it more in the oil. Still got there. I think we found the cheater ball for this pattern. Really nice. I like it. I'm surprised. You know, I thought I'd hate this ball because it's I don't like the length. And I like, in this game, I like stuff that's pretty early, that you can see when it starts to want to turn, you know, when it digs into the oil. As long as it does that, I'm good. But this ball surprisingly works for this pattern, at least. You see what I mean? That was even earlier into the friction, and it still made it there. Oh, that's light. Oh, that sucks. I think they call that missing into the oil or something. I don't know. Oh, I didn't hold that time. Let's see if we can strike out. Yeah. Let's get the Electrify going here to finish it off. Very nice. Okay, there you go. So a full game, or a full practice game, and I got 256. I wish I could have gotten that 300, but you know me, I do not have nerves of steel. I crack under the pressure, and that is probably why I'll never get a sanctioned 300 when I bowl league. I'm surprised that I have 2 practice 300s to my name. I always thought I'd be that guy that could never get a 300. But here I am. At least I have 2 practice 300s, right? It's better than nothing. But sanctioned 300, I don't know that that'll ever happen. Because you know that feeling like when you're weak in the knees or like you feel like you're going to buckle. I always feel like that, and then I start getting red hot. And even in this game, like when I'm chasing it, I start to lose it. Like right now, this is probably the calmest I've ever been, but even then, I can still feel like my heart rate is going up. Who knows how fast, but anyway, yeah, there it is. There you go. That was the Duo, and that was the Electrify Go with the hybrid and the BSY thrown into the mix to see what a difference it made. And the Electrify Go is your in-between ball if you were using the other 2 hybrids. The length is, like I said, right in the middle, and the back end isn't, it isn't the craziest thing ever, but it's not the weakest. So very in the middle. And then the Duo is basically a little bit stronger than the Electrify hybrid. I'd say that the length is just about the same, but the back end is a little bit more. And I really just wish that they would add the uproar into the game to see what would happen. I know that ball in real life, so I don't know. It's just really weird. But anyway, now I'm curious to, once again, I'm curious to see what's going to happen next week, because if they added the Duo, then who knows what'll happen. But anyway, that's the end of that. The Duo, the Electrify Go. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And I will see you next Friday to see what they give us. Peace.